everybody and welcome to my channel. It's been a very long time, but I'm back with a very exciting series. If you don't know who I am, my name is Casey and I do dentistry. That's basically what my channel entitles. But I also am married to an immigration lawyer. So he's professionally licensed, bar approved lawyer who deals with immigration, especially immigration for dentists, because he actually went through that with me, so he has a lot of experience on that. So he helped me create this series of videos about immigration law and about general immigration, business immigration that is related to dentistry. So we are going to discuss in this series of videos, this is video number 1 of 5, we're going to discuss all of the aspects of immigration that you can possibly think of. You probably don't even know a lot of things that come into this, so we're going to discuss everything. We're going to answer all of the questions about all of the visas that are required to immigrate to the United States as a dentist. And these videos are going to be geared towards people who have no relations to the United States at all, who have never been, or maybe have been but don't have any kind of visa and any kind of legal entry, and don't have any relatives or anything like that. So basically these videos are going to answer the question of how do I get from my home country, where I am right now and where I'm practicing as a dentist, to America and practicing and being employed as a dentist there. So we're going to discuss everything. This video, the first one, is going to basically discuss the general process, describe everything that everything that goes into the immigration without going particularly deep into any kind of type of visa. That's what our future videos are going to be for. So if you want to know more about that, subscribe to my channel and keep on watching this video. You need 3 types of visas. First and foremost, you will have to get some kind of legal way of entry to the United States. That you will require to take your NBD exams, take your any other kind of exams that you will need to take, and go for interviews. Those things would not allow you to apply for a student visa, so you would require at the very least a tourist visa. You will require a tourist visa for any kind of program you apply. So if you're going to residency, you will need a tourist visa anyway, and if you're going, even though they don't take any exams pretty much, you can take TOEFL from home and you don't really need any other exams to apply to residency. But even if that's the case, you will still need to go to the interview. Interviews are sometimes conducted through Zoom, which is great. You wouldn't even need to leave your country, but you don't know what kind of interview the schools would have until you actually get invited. So you would get your invitation and you will see that the interview is in person. If you don't have any kind of visa to enter the United States, you will not be able to attend, which is a huge waste of money and a huge amount of stress. So it's best to just have a tourist visa on your hands first. Besides, all of the applications ask your visa status, so you have to put some kind of visa information there too. So tourist visa is a must as for the beginning of the process. So basically tourist visa can take a very long time to acquire. It depends on your country of origin. Tourist visa can take for years to receive, so you should start applying for your tourist visa before you start studying for your exams, before you start any application process. So your tourist visa should be your first priority when you're starting to consider moving to the United States. Depending on your country, it could take a very long time. For example, if you're Russian, good luck with that. It's almost to the point of impossible. You will need, if you don't have an embassy in your country, you will have to travel to another embassy to apply for that visa. It always requires an in-person interview, so you would actually physically have to travel to another country if you don't have an embassy in your own country to receive that visa. Plus, you will need to explain to the embassy why are you going to the United States. So you will have to have a good reason for it, and you will have to have proof of why you're going. So if you're saying that I'm going to take NBD, you would probably want to have your dent pin or some kind of proof that you're actually planning to do that when you're in the United States. So there's a lot of planning that needs to go in that, but plus tourist visa implies that you're going to leave the country. So if you're saying that, well, I'm going to, stay in the United States and be a super cool dentist and make $1 million, that may be, if they suspect that you want to stay there forever, they may reject your visa because of a lack of non-immigrant intent, which was a big problem for me when I was moving to the United States. So definitely, if you have a little bit of iffy reasons of why you're moving to the United States, it would be a good idea to talk to a lawyer if you're kind of thinking, about the whole process. By the way, as I mentioned, my husband has his own law firm. If you don't have any lawyer in the United States and you're looking just to talk to somebody, has free consultations, so you can work with him. All of his information is down in the description below. Another reason why you might want to consider to get a tourist visa and kind of travel to the United States before you even started the application process is to take NBDE. You actually have to have your diploma evaluated, and you have to send the original of your diploma to the evaluation service. So that may be difficult to do from abroad, because you only have one diploma and you have to actually send it out to the United States. So maybe if you travel to the United States, your diploma will be safer. You wouldn't have to send it internationally. You can send it locally, and that can kind of make the entire process easier. So that's something to consider too. To get your approval for NBDE, you have to physically send them your diploma. Another thing, when you do get approved for NBDE, you only have 3 months to take it. So make sure that you have a valid visa that's valid for 3 months from the time you're approved, so you can actually travel and you wouldn't have any issues logistically like that. How do you apply for a tourist visa? Basically, the process is the same wherever you're from. You have to go to a website. It's easy to find. Just Google US tourist visa, and you'll have to fill out an online form, DS-160, and you have to pay $140, which is a consular fee. That could vary country by country, but generally it's not really expensive. But again, if you're from Russia, or if you're maybe from Iran, or a country that's under sanctions, the payment will have to be done online, and will have to be done in dollars. So think about your credit cards and how that's going to work. That's another point of concern, maybe something that would require thought ahead of time. After you paid the fee, you will be directed to the website where you can book your appointment. And again, appointment is in person, conducted in English, so you will have to speak English, and you will have to bring a lot of proof of why you're traveling to the United States. After you get in, when all that's said and done, once you receive an acceptance letter, you're gonna have to start thinking about student visas. Student visas are actually pretty easy. They don't require a lot of thought because you have the school on your side. Schools are large facilities and they do student visas all the time. So they will definitely help you along the process. You don't really have to worry about that. They will send you, once you're accepted, you do need to have your acceptance letter first. So you can start applying for the student visa before you actually get in. You will need their acceptance letter, and you will need an I-20 form. That's a form they sent you, and with that you will have to apply to your embassy. We will talk a lot more about student visas in my future videos. We're going to discuss all of the aspects of it, all of the ins and outs of it, how you can work, how you can apply for it, how the process works. We can discuss it all. So stay tuned for the next video. This is just an overview, but basically student visas are not that complicated because you have the school's support and because you have their help. They do take very quick to receive. If you're already in the United States, though, if you're applying from the United States on a different visa status, you can change your status without having to leave the country. You can just change it whilst being in the United States, which is great. We're going to take a little bit more of which types of visas can change from their status to student visa. There could be a little difficulties there, but generally I wouldn't worry about that. But once you are done with your school and your student visa has served you well, you will have 1 year of OTP. That basically means that's a 1 year that the country allows you to stay without having any kind of status, basically, and you can work. That is the time given to you to find a job and secure an H-1B, which is a work visa. Work visas for dentists are relatively easy to get. You will have to find a place that will sponsor you, and then we're going to enter the realm of H-1Bs. And H-1B, that's where the biggest problem is. Basically, that's when H-1B is a lottery, so you're not guaranteed that you're going to get a work visa after you graduate school and after you find a job. You kind of enter the lottery, and it depends on your profession, it depends on your country, and it varies really a lot. So there will be a separate video on H-1B. This is just an overview, but once you receive that visa, you are pretty much allowed to stay in the United States as long as you're employed. They're not going to, it doesn't expire, but you will have to leave the country to get the visa in your passport. So that will require a trip home. But generally, as a general process, it is very possible and very easy, I would say. It's not an issue to find a job on H-1B and find a company that would sponsor your visa once you graduated the school in the United States. Now that we kind of saw the 3 types of visa and discussed them and what the process is going to take, we're going to discuss what not to do. And basically, when it comes to H-1Bs, it is not easy to get a job sponsored if you have no education in the United States. So if you're sitting there in your home country right now, being a dentist, and thinking, I'm just going to move to the United States and find a job as a dental assistant or something that you can do without further education, and think that you're just going to get a job and easily be sponsored, that is not the case. It is easy to find a job if you have education in the United States. So that whole process you will need to go through to secure yourself a spot and actually feel secure in your status in the United States. Another thing you should not do is anything illegal. We all have our roommate's cousin's sister who just rolled to the border of the United States, entered the country, and lived here as a famous and rich dentist. That is usually just an anecdote. Understand that US immigration system is very, very rigorous. It is not easy to just cross the border and stay here forever. Don't expect that you will easily just, everybody will forget that you're foreign and just let you work. It is not like that. People do get deported all the time here, and if you do anything illegal, if you enter the country illegally, but then you get to the point when you can actually get a legal status, for example, if you break the law, overstay a visa, but then you will be eligible for a student visa, you may very well be denied a visa, and after going all through this entire process, you will have to leave the country, which sucks. So don't think that, don't believe rumors that it's so easy to waltz into the United States. That's why my husband has a job. He goes to court to protect people who are being deported all the time. So that happens. I know there will be a lot of hate in the comment and say like, yeah, my friend just, overstayed his visa and lived happily ever after. Sometimes rumors like that do get embellished, and there's a lot going on in the immigration process. So don't think that because you know or heard of somebody who has done this, you should do the same. Be very careful with it, because you can jeopardize your future if you decide to do something stupid. With that all being said, I'm gonna end this video on that point. We are going to discuss much more deeply everything about every particular type of visa, so please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel if you want to know more. And also, if you have a particular situation that you want to discuss, we do have an immigration lawyer on staff. In my case, he does dentistry firm, let's say that, and he is available for free consultation. All of his information is down below. If you have a case to discuss, and if you just are looking for a lawyer or considering getting a lawyer sometime down the road, all of his information is in the description. So thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.